in this experiment number 4, listen this very carefully please. In this experiment number 4, as the title tells you, that there is a yellow dot matrix running from the high side transistor switch and ULN2803. Up till now, you were told that there was an LED and that LED was being working over there. You had a 7 segment over there. Now we are going in some stuff over there in which we have we have a dot matrix. Where are the yellow dot matrix? Anyone having the yellow dot matrix over here? ये तो ठीक है आगे where I want. I guess I don't have it. Anyway, don't worry. I have this yellow dot matrix over there, as you can see over there. Now, what is this yellow dot matrix over there? This yellow dot matrix is actually 64 LEDs combined together. Now, if you have 64 LEDs over here, you have 64 anodes, 64 cathodes. Again, I am going to do multiplexing over there, some combining of parallel and serial. Now, what is the advantage of this? Now, this is 64 LEDs arranged in a 4.7 inch by 4.7 inch approximately case over there, and if you add one dot matrix, another one, third one, fourth one, you can make a big screen. And I don't know how many of you have seen in Lahore, maybe some places where there are advertisement screens over there, they are made by just simple dots over there. But the size of that dot is small as compared to this one. This is actually just one single color at present. So you can control and display any data on this one. This is a single color, so this is 64 LEDs over there. Now, what is this 64 LED doing over there? If I can just go on the experiment chart over there. And in this experiment 1, so this means actually, practically, I have one LED inside it, another LED inside it, another LED inside it, another LED inside it, another LED, and I have added all these LEDs inside it, and they have encapsulated inside a box. Now, you require 64. So these are repeated in all of these 64 lines over there. It is arranged in 8 rows, 8 columns. Remember, any dot matrix is always referred to as rows, columns. There are 8 rows, 8 columns. Now, if you want to control each LED individually, you require 64 wires coming out, 64 wires going out, 64 anode, 64 cathode. Now, if you see very closely over there, the yellow dot matrix is having 16 pins only. So by 16 pins, you can control 64 LEDs over there. And how that is possible? That answer is available on this diagram. Let me actually zoom this out. Actually, this is okay. So I have this one now. If you see very closely over there, what I have done, each diode is actually signifying one LED. And you can see column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I have rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it's totally up to you how you actually want to make it. Actually, this column number 1 is this column over here. I can call this column, let me use the blue color. This is my column number 1. This is my column number 2. This is my column number 3. And so on. This is my column number 8. And similarly, on same lines over there, if I can use another color over there, this one is my row number 1. This is my row number 2. This is my row number 3, and so on. Okay? So you have 8 rows, 8 columns, and they are arranged in this orientation. Now, if you see very closely, if I want to turn on first row, first column, okay? That is this LED, I want to turn it on. What I have to do, I have to give a positive 5 volt signal at pin number 16, and I have to give a ground path on pin number 7. In this way, I can control the first LED. So what I am doing over there, I am calling this one as first LED, second LED, third LED, fourth LED, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th over there. Now, when you are having this first, second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh, so this is your first LED, this is your second LED, third LED, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, 8 over there. Now, you want to control any other LED. Supposedly, I want to turn on this LED over there. For this purpose, I will give a 5 volt signal at this pin number 6, and since I wanted to turn on supposedly this, I will give a ground signal at pin number 13. So each LED is individually addressable. But yes, for that purpose, again you are going to do, like supposedly what I wanted to do over there, I wanted to display A. Okay, it's a square box 8 cross 8, and for that square box over there, let me actually do this a little. I have this one over here. What I wanted to do, I wanted to actually display A, and for A, I wanted to turn this on. Let me just make a little color. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one on, and let me make actually yes, this one on, 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 and for the A, this was A segment. Okay? ये arrange नहीं है, ऊपर से एक row भी कम हो गया, you can do it. Now for this purpose, what I will do actually, listen this very careful. Since these are all arranged in rows and column, what you are going to do, this is your row number 1, this is your column number 1. Now since each one of these are arranged in such a way that you are going to energize first of all a column, then you are going to give a signal at row. You are going to energize a column, you are going to give a row. You are going to energize a column, so positive supply or 5-volt signals are going to be provided at all of these columns over there. So what you are going to do? You are going to energize, in this case, I am going to energize first of all column number 1. Done. I have given 5 volts over there. Now giving that 5 volt, what I want to do, I want to turn on row number 1, row number 2, row number 3 and row number 4. So what I will do, I will give a ground signal at the respective 4 pins, and the remaining 4 pins I will not turn them on. Then I will again move on forward to column number 2. In column number 2, I will give a supply at column number 2, and I will turn on only this 3rd row and 5th row. So now what will happen? These 4, these 2, and I will continue this process up till column number 8. And again, this is going to be done at a very fast speed, just like your experiment number 2. I will just show you, which I'm going to just check after this one. So when this process is going to be repeated, you are actually going to see A over there. Now A is just one example. You can display any pattern, any animation or whatever. Now this is just an 8 cross 8. If you have a bigger screen, maybe having 8 of these dot matrices, so this means 64 LEDs in one line, 64. So this makes actually a big screen. And this is just one color. Experiment number 5 means RGB dot matrix. It can have red, green, blue. And with red, green, blue, you can create 9 or 10 different colors by combining. You can combine red and green, you can get yellow, you can have cyan color, you can have simple white also by combining all of them. So this dot matrix is being controlled when the pins are arranged in this direction. Now, how to apply power and how to give them a control. Now, this is not a binary data which has to be displaying some binary coded decimal that was in experiment number 1. What you have to do here, you have to apply 5 volt signal at this pin, this pin, this pin, this pin, and all of these 8 columns over there. Now, if you see over there, I have given a circuit over there, and this circuit is a little different from what you have been using up till now. Now, you cannot use any IC in this case. Why? Because the amount of current which is going to travel inside one column is a little bit larger than any IC threshold. So, any IC cannot give more than like 100 or 200 milliamperes of current. Here in this case, one column, when it is all illuminated, which means that this line, this all are illuminated, then this means the amount of current flowing over here may be something 200 milliampere. And 200 milliampere multiplied by 8, this is approximately 1.6 ampere. It's a huge current. So any IC cannot work over there. So what we are going to do, this is a transistor, but it is being assisted by 2 transistors over there, and how they are working. Now, if you see this transistor, this is the same 2N3904 transistor which you have used in your previous experiment, and this was an NPN transistor. This is a PNP transistor over here. As you can see the symbol, the current is going inward over there. That is 2SA684. Now, why I have used two transistors over there? This is the very important question. If I had, listen this very carefully, this is very, very important thing. I had a column number 1 and I wanted to connect over here with column number 1. I could have used something like this, a transistor like this, connected a base resistor, and then from here just connected it with that plus VCC or 5 volts. Just like you had been doing in experiment number 1. And this resistance was supposedly 470 ohms or whatever. This was your 1 kilo ohm resistance. And you can give a plus 5 volt signal by a dip switch or whatever. Now, when you are going to have such like of circuitry, listen to this very carefully. When you are going to have such like circuitry, now going in a little detail of transistor, if you remember from your FSC, you were told that a transistor, NPN, gets forward biased when the base emitter junction over here has approximately 0.7 volt. Now, when you were only having sorry about this. When you were only having a 7 segment like this, and this pin was going in supposedly your DP. That was happening in experiment number 1 or 2 over there. The DP current was very small. It was giving you not that much amount of current. It was not requiring that. This current could easily travel through it. The diode of DP over there was having a very small voltage drop. The 0.7 volts were easily available across the base emitter junction. They were easily available. But now, when instead of a 7 segment over there, you have a whole column over there, which means you are actually having a column number 1, and that column number 1 is supplying to one of the diodes over there. In fact, let me, if I can make a small replica of this one. This is your diode over here. This is your second diode over there, or LED over there. This is your third, and this is continue to go on up till your 8th over here. So this is your first row, this is your second row, this is your third row, and so on. This is your 8th row over there. Now, these 8 LEDs are actually in parallel. They require a large amount of current. So this configuration is not capable of passing a large amount of current over there, because the base current is IB, this current is your emitter current, so the 0.7 voltage drop is not possible. So what you do over there? If you see very closely over there in this circuit diagram, we are having a 2N3904 transistor and a 2SA684 transistor. What happens over there? If you see the operation over there, as soon as I give a plus 5 volt signal over here, what will happen? The emitter of this is already grounded. What happens? A base current can easily flow from over here to ground. This transistor turns on. आसान है. पहले क्या था? वहाँ पे लोड लगा हुआ था. एक 7 segment था, which was very small. It can work easily. But now you have a dot matrix, which is a large load. You require the more amount of current. Resistance ज़्यादा है उसकी. So here, in this case now, you have turned on 2N3904. Now, when you have a 2N9031 turned on, here, what will happen? From this 10 ohm resistance, through this transistor, from here, and from here, the path is going to be complete. How? This was an NPN, this was a PNP transistor. Now, going a little basics into what a PNP and NPN work. Now, what was an NPN transistor? Your NPN and PNP transistor, if I make their symbols over here, you had a symbol of a emitter. This one was your, this one was collector. And this one was base. Then in a PNP, symbol was going in, arrow inward. This was going out, and this one was your G. This one was base. What was this? Come on. Arrowhead के साथ क्या है? Emitter. This is collector, just opposite of it. Now, you want to turn on NPN transistor. Listen to this very carefully. I am doing a very important thing over there. I am not going to repeat it. Please concentrate here. I have an NPN transistor. If I want to turn on NPN transistor, I have to give plus 5 volt signal so that from base to emitter a current flows, and this will make the current from collector to emitter flow. Same thing in a PNP transistor. Since this is opposite, I have not to have a current from base to emitter. I need a current from emitter to base to flow, which will make from emitter to collector current flow over there. This is opposite. I am again repeating. In an NPN transistor, you require from your base till emitter, you require a current which will make the base emitter junction forward biased, and from the collector to emitter, your current, which can be either collector current or emitter current, will flow. Transistor will be turned on. In a PNP transistor, this is totally opposite. Here in base, current has to flow opposite. So over here, this emitter, as soon as your base is provided with a ground path, current will start to flow from here and your main current can flow and the transistor can turn on. Same thing is happening if I go back on your circuit diagram. What is happening over there? Listen this. As soon as I give a plus 5 volt signal at this point, current flows from the base emitter junction to the ground. So what happens? Now this current can flow very easily. What is this? This is collector, this is emitter. Now this collector is connected with the base of this PNP transistor. The current can easily flow from here to this one, through that resistor, through from here and to the ground. What will happen? Because of this current flowing over there, this PNP transistor will now turn on. When this is turned on, current can flow from here inside your column number 1. Now you want to turn it off. What will happen? You make this one 0 volt. This current is not flowing now. So this current is also not flowing now. This base and this emitter, this will not become forward bias now. So what will happen when it will not become forward bias? This current which was flowing from the emitter to the collector will not now flow. It will turn off. And what will turn off? Eventually column will be turned off. Previously, in the experiment number 1, what you were doing over there, you were relying that your current was flowing from your base to emitter, and here there was a 7-segment display over there and your current was flowing through that. Here this time you have a yellow dot matrix, and for yellow dot matrix you have this column 1 which is giving you a large amount of resistance. So to turn that on, what you are doing over there, you have a PNP transistor over there, and this PNP transistor, if I can write it down, this PNP transistor can handle 1.5 ampere current. I will just show you the data sheet as well. So in this experiment, your PNP transistor is 2SA684. It's a PNP transistor, opposite of NPN. So if you want to turn this on, you have to have 0 volts here. If 0 volts are, and how 0 volts are available? Because this point is connected to ground as soon as I give 5 volts over there. So what I'm actually doing over there, I will be having, if I just rub out this all, what I've done over there. So practically, what I have over here, in this one, as soon as I will on this first dip switch, as soon as I will on this first dip switch, 5 volts will be applied over here. As soon as I will on it on, this transistor will turn on. And as soon as this transistor will turn on, 0 volt will be provided on this point, and current will flow from the emitter to the base from an NPN transistor. And what it will do, it will turn this transistor on, that is PNP, from the emitter to the collector. Current will flow, and where that current will flow, that will flow inside your column either 1, 2, 3, wherever it is connected. Now, since how many columns you have over here? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, this circuitry is going to be repeated 8 times. I've just shown 1 over there. This circuitry is going to be repeated 8 times. And this 8 times mean that you have 8 dip switch over here because 8 columns are there. So, 8 will be the repetition of this, and I have written it, repeat the above driver circuitry for all 8 columns. So there will be 8 of these structures, and from each one of 8, one wire will be going in column 1, another one will be going in column 2, another one will be going in column 3, and so on up till column 8. So what is happening over there? You are applying your 5 volt signal from this point. Now, the trick part, since you are going to do it by the dip switch, you can also do it by the male header, just like you have been doing applying. So a male header, this one, will be applied over there at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that I can give a signal from a microcontroller. And with a microcontroller, you can actually then do transitions. You can display any animation, you can display 8. But by this dip switch, you can only turn them on. आप उसे animation नहीं कर सकते हो. For that, you need a microcontroller. Okay? So you can turn on all of these columns and you can give 5 volts here, 5 volts here, 5 volts here, 5 volts here, 5 volts here. Well and good. Now, you have given the columns the energy. Now you need to take out that energy and give a ground path. And where that ground path has to be? That ground path has to be for row number 1 till row number 8. And that is going to be pin number 7, 9, 5, 11, 3, 13, 1 and 15. And you are going to connect these 8 wires to ULN2803. Let me just actually... Okay, like this. And same thing that you have done previously. Nothing changed, nothing fancy. The only thing is this, here you are adding a 10 to 33 ohm resistance in between. This is just to limit the current. Because otherwise, if you won't add a resistor, the LED inside that dot matrix will actually burn out. So if you see in the whole path, how many resistances you have? You have a 10 ohm resistance here, passing through the LEDs. Of course, there is LEDs over there. LED is going to have a voltage drop of 0.7, 0.8. 0.7 is for red, for yellow maybe it is going to be 0.8 or 0.9. And then after passing through each one of them, they are going to go towards the row. So this one is row number 1, pin number 7. So this means row number 1, pin number 7 over there. If I can just rub this one off also. So you have this one connected to this one over here and passing through that 10 to 33 ohm value. This is going to be connected with your pin number 11 or this over here, pin number 8. So a dip switch again over there, and that dip switch is over here connected with pin number 8. Now again I have written it over there, no need of pull down resistor. Pull down resistors were only required for 4511, experiment number 1 and experiment number 2. So you don't need any pull down resistors. You just have to add this male header at this point. By this point I mean that you are going to have, let me just make a small box over there. So this means the male header has to be added at this point. And by adding over here means that you are going to have one male header at this, one male header here. Come on. Okay, why it's not, okay, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have this one over here. You have 8 pin male header here, 8 pin male header at this point. So by this 8 pins and this 8 pin, you can control the whole dot matrix over there. Now, if you want to check it, because you have dip switches, if you will turn on all of these 8 dip switches and you turn on all of these 8 dip switches, the whole yellow dot matrix will be turned on. But if you want to display any transition, okay, when you will bring it back in the lab next time, I will show you on microcontroller connecting these 8 wires from here, which are actually at this point, and these 8 wires at here. I will connect it with microcontroller and we can display any alphabets A, B, C, D, whatever, or any transition animation over there. But as far as your circuit is concerned, you can check it with this 8 on, with this 8 on, all 64 LEDs will be turned on. Now, since this data and the power supply section is the same, no change. It's the same just like your previous experiments up till now. Yes, one thing very important. Here the amount of current is larger. Do not forget the heat sink. Heat sink ke bagair ye nahi chalega. It will get heated up if you are not going to put a heat sink. So be very, very careful. Now, you are going to do this one, this experiment, not on the small Vero board. You are going to do this one on the large Vero board over there. Now you have ample space on this one. So you can have play over there. You don't need to be very much over there. But remember, when you are having this one, try to make it something like this, that this yellow dot matrix over here comes somewhere in mid, so that it looks a little aesthetically better. Then power supply section, of course, in this area. Then the transistors in this area, where I am actually having it over there. Then the yellow dot matrix here. And since from other side of the yellow dot matrix, there will be ULN2803 IC and the 8 resistors. Remember, the difficult part in this experiment is not the placement. The difficult part is adding those 16 transistors over there, because they are going to have a collector base emitter. So you will have to go on their data sheet and see which pin is collector, which pin is base. If आपने ये गलत किया, you will do the same for the all 8 columns, then it will be difficult. So please open the data sheet of these 2 transistors over there. One is your 2SA684 and 2N3904. We have opened the data sheet of 2N3904. Open the data sheet of 2SA684 yourself. Okay? Let's see how you can cope up with it. And have a habit. I have been seeing students coming up to me, if they are adding a transistor, sir, आप बता दें यहाँ से कैसे collector है, कौन सा base है. Please have a habit. हर वक्त 2N3904 नहीं होगा. Whenever you are going to work on any transistors or MOSFETs in your life in the next 3 years to go on, you will be having a lot of different transistors. आपको data sheet खोलनी पड़ेगी. And every transistor has a different base, collector, emitter, pin configuration. Or maybe it's a PNP, maybe it's a MOSFET, maybe it's another IC. So have a habit of opening the data sheet and reading it from there. So I'm leaving this one. This is 2SA683 or 684. They both are usable over there. In our case, 683 is having a little bit 30 volt, 684 is approximately, I guess, 60 volt. But our voltage is not more than 5, so it's not important. You can use any 683 or 684. Remember, this transistor is a little bit, sadly I had this circuit made, I could have shown it, but I will upload the image on the website. You can have a look on this one. At this present time, this is your Vero board on which you are going to do it. Now, one thing very important. Before leaving today, I will ask the CR, I hope everyone has this Vero board over here with you. CR, collect every group's, this experiment number 4 Vero board and experiment number 3 small Vero board over there. Okay? I'm going to sign them so that when you start and you come bring it back, you have the same Vero board with you. Okay? So sign from me. I will do it with a permanent marker over here with me, and please get it signed over here. क्यों नहीं है? Experiment number 4 तक का सामान मैंने पहले का कहा हुआ है. अच्छा चलो थर्ड का तो लाओ ना, फोर्थ कल करवा लेना. थर्ड का होना चाहिए. Everyone should have the third Vero board over here. Please get it signed with me. I will write down your group number or whatever over there, and then I will have it. So CR collected. Okay, now please, one thing very important. I hope this experiment number 4 is complete over there, and 3. Now this is a huge task for you. 3 is very simple. I hope you don't have any difficulty. You can see it's not having that much over there. Yes, care has to be taken when you are going to put these jumper wires. They should not be loopy over there, and of course the soldering has to be shiny, as I have told you, and it should be not having any shorts over there. Now here, just now in front of you, I will turn on the camera and I will show you your experiment number 2. First 3 or 4 groups I am going to do on camera and show you how they are working.